Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well today. I still gotta learn which ways this will work better. It will work better this way. You know, everybody does something different with their thing. It will work better this way. Oh no, then that's upside down. Guys, tell me which way you think. Yeah, eventually I'll be able to figure out which way works best for us when we do all these crazy things. You know, depending on how this thing is working, you know, eventually we'll get a different desk. But for now, this is the way we are. I hope everybody's doing well. Yay to the one person in the stream. Hello. Sorry, I moved the camera around until I get the best angle. So, you know, I'm still unpacking from the house. You know, I met some neighbors today. Today we had a neighbor thing. Yesterday we went out exploring, you know. I'm still looking for jobs and things like that. So today we're coloring out of Color in Heaven, Fantasy Figures by Lamoine. So I was like, well, then what color should we do our hair? Like a lot of people are going to have different ideas what color we should use. You know, I like brown haired girls. Hello to the two people in chat. Say hello. So I can say hello to you. This is balsamic yellow. This is luminance. We have our luminance pencils today. So, different pencils, different days, you know. You know, I managed to get some, me and my mother went out to the Dollar Tree by where we live. We took the bus. We found our Clubhouse One is where we go. Hi, Robin. How are you? Today we're coloring out of Color in Heaven Fantasy Figure Special by Maud Lamoine. I managed to find the box with my Color in Heaven. So after I had hung up some of my clothes, me and my mother did what I call what do you call it? I did some work on that. So if you can tell, I'm lightly putting down this as the base layer for the hair. This is balsamic yellow. I think this is what it's called. Basmalt yellow. Basmalt yellow is what this is. These are the luminants. So, you know, it's I'm kind of happy to now be in the house. We're still unpacking. We still haven't found the mugs or the hangers. You know, it's like, well, but that's nice. So that's good. And I'm just doing a very light layer of yellow. Usually I use markers in these books, but the reason why I'm not using markers right now is because I don't have my blotter pages. I did find my Copics, however, so yay. I think this picture is, what's this picture called? Gift of Life is what this is called. So, you know. You know, it's different out here. Oh my God, it's beautiful. The weather is just so, but the heat is just so much. You know, and I'm going to need a job. So I started applying for some jobs. So hopefully I get some callbacks. We're doing this in pencil because I don't have my markers. So normally we would do markers. Oh, the weather is just beautiful here. So yeah, the weather is just like it's sunny. It's just nice and bright and everything. But here's the problem with that. The problem with the weather here, nice orange. Oh, it's sunny. It's beautiful. It doesn't rain out here too much, but and these are luminance pencils. If anybody's wondering what I'm using. I hear my mother's watching Law and Order in the other room. I can hear it. So forgive me, my mother's watching Law and Order. I thought I had closed the window, but my mother's watching Law and Order. Well, at least one of them. My mother's a big Law and Order fan. I hope none of you can hear that. But everything has been really, really good. I'm really happy here. But you know, getting a job is what I really need. Yeah, I'm gonna make her hair brown. It's gonna be fun to do that, you know. You know, I remember the first time after we were moving, I was stalling. I was like really mad because I go, you know, you don't do these things and just don't consult somebody about these things. So, I'm an accounting job. Brown ochre. Then I think it's darker brown. No, I missed my little tabs. I was in the Dollar Tree store, you know, yesterday. Me and my mother were looking at things that we would like. I'll tell you, the sun and all is so different than where I used to live, Robin. It's like the sun is just hotter here. I mean, that sun, if it hits you, when you walk in the shade, it's not bad. But the sun here, you know, you have to put on a lot of lotion, suntan lotion and lotion here because this sun is just so brutal. It will give you wrinkles if you're not protected. I'm looking for all kinds of different things, but sometimes when you color, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, now we'll do another color. Look on, just to get the brown in there. So I see a third person has joined us. Hello, the third person. I'm always looking for stuff to do. This is russet. This will be like the final color. I always like these color and having books because they give you a chance to maybe see artists that you wouldn't see. I love where they illustrate. This paper is really good. Most of the pictures in this are marker based, but they would do in pencil because I just don't have the lot of pages. And I don't really want to go up on top of the marker. I put them out of the way, the markers, because if my nieces come in, I do them. They like to touch things, but that's okay. I don't mind them touching the pencils and things like that, which is good for their curiosity. But alcohol markers, no, no, no. They're not old enough yet for those. So we found a diamond paint and stuff. But because everything's not unpacked yet, I really don't want to put the diamond painting on here yet. So you see, it's all really pretty. I love the colors in this. And with the luminescence, they hold the point really really well. Can you do skin tone with them? I usually combine them with other things. If I do skin tone, I prefer my prismas and my Holbeins for skin. And because we're going with pencils, it's going to take longer to color today. So I figured now was a good time. We just went over one of the neighbors' houses, and it was like get to know your neighbors kind of thing, meeting people. And I really enjoyed it a lot. I got to see how pretty this woman's house was today. Some of our neighbors today, me and my mother did that. So it's always nice to see that. Hello, Molly. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I know we're. I know a lot of people expected that they would get the Serene book, but I put that away last night because Mother needed the desk, and so when someone needs something, you have to give it to them. I'm like. I'm hoping next week I hear back from some of the jobs that I applied for online. Someone asked me would I be interested in remote work. I would like to do remote work if possible, but there's something about going into an office and working and doing something. I've always been one of those people who likes to do things. Mhm. So got the brown eyes in there. Green is always a nice compliment to anything you do. I love seeing different things. Yes. Mhm. So I got this little cheap sharpener, I think from Hobby Lobby when I was with my brother. I even have artist pencils now. You can see sharpen's really nice. It was a cheap one, but it's just something I needed. Yeah, I was coming with the kids' books. And I was living with my brother, so I did a bunch of stuff with them, but I didn't finish anything with them. I always like green as a color. It seems to be a color that I'm really liking as I get. Cobalt Green, this is called. And we are using the luminance pencils. I have my Pablos and I have my Hobarts. But the stuff I kind of put away, so I think it's going to be green and blues today. Something like what I did before, but there's always different shades of green, which I really like green as a color. I don't know why it is all of a sudden that I'm liking green as a color. So, everybody, don't be shy. We only have 2 likes and 6 people. Come on. It's been like an interesting thing. The other day we went to, we've been exploring this place a little bit, which is nice. I always like seeing what colors I can usually do. Get away with them. So this is manganese red. I really like the colors in the luminance. I'm so happy I found these today. These colors are really pretty. Oh, it's so hot these days. It's so different than when I was in New York because I was always cold in New York, freezing. I'm like, oh, did we lose people? Oh no, we lost people. It's been a fun experience being somewhere new. Let's fade it a little bit. I'm going to shade the dark here. Yeah. No, I have a lot of pencil still, but no, it's going to be blue and green. I pretty much know that. You can make it depending on how you like it to be. Isn't it a pretty color? I love this color. It's manganese violet. It's a pretty purple. You can make the color as light or as dark as you want, depending on how hard you press. They have pretty colors. One of the things that I like about the colors in this set is that they're very vibrant. Like I love the Holbein pastels are very vibrant too. Mm-hmm. So that's like depending on what brand you're using and what color spectrum they're using. Some use a darker spectrum, some use a lighter spectrum. Yes, I know, right? The move was different, Joy. There was a lot that happened during the move, and then all the things that happened with me going into the hospital, and then I was with my brother for a few months, for a month, almost 2 months before we got approved for this place. So it was different living with my brother. When you live with someone else, it's kind of like you're living on their schedule. You're not living on your schedule. I don't think really I have backups for my luminance. I think I have a few colors in luminance because I don't really use them that much. And when I do, I tend to really use them up as the word is. So that's the wing. Tip of the wing. So it's sort of like, is that the wing? Is that the wing? I'm gonna make this a little purple here. It's gonna be a little bit different. So you just make it light. You can, depending on how hard you press, you can make it light or dark or medium color. Holbeins, I have some duplicates of them. I wouldn't say I have a lot of duplicates of the Holbeins, but I have some of the colors, not all of the colors and duplicates, but everything is like really colorful and I'm so happy that I found some of my colored books. I'm still looking for some of my mandala books, but What I have right now is good for what I need right now. I don't need everything on the sun right now. So, we're doing this with luminance pencils, but I'll probably have something. Mhm. What's this color? Intro pink, I think is what this is called. I always add pink to my wings. I don't know why, but I always like having pink on wings for fairies. The thing about the luminance pencils is that they're thicker. They're a little bit harder to put through a pencil sharpener. You ever notice that some pencils are really easy to put through a pencil sharpeners and then others not so easy? Either because they're too thin or they're too fat. A little pink here. A little pink here. A little shade in here. Some people do this thing where they shade everything. Oh, thank you, Angie. I haven't even touched my diamond painting stuff yet, but I did find it, so. Well, it's like you and your hobbies. Okay, what about you and your new hobbies? This room right now is just like a storage area room, but eventually this will be my mother's bedroom. She's going to put a bed in here eventually. And then we each have our own bedrooms and our own dressers and things like that. And maybe I can unpack another box. And then there were all the comic books me and my brother collected over the years. And, there are things missing that I don't have that my brother claims I have. And I tell him, I looked everywhere before we moved in the closets, in the storage area unit. It's just like, I don't have what he claims I have. So it's just like, you know. Oh, do you like your new phone? Yeah. I'm hoping I get a call back. Otherwise, I might have to take one of these store jobs. I really don't want to take a store job, but if I have to, I will. There's that. Yeah, I think I put this in order anyway. What color is this? This is a violet. I would say it is very different. It's a different pace. This is like a grayish violet. I think it's called Pantone. So I think it's a very different. It's a very different pace. I think moving here is going to be very different than when I was living in there. So depending on, it's much prettier. It's warmer. It's much more quiet. I don't hate cars as much. There's a lot of bigger stores, and when I mean bigger stores, I mean like like larger stores. Like, you know, in New York, how everything is so, this is come, okay, here's my wipe. This is not the titanium wipe, which everybody raves about. But the white is just as good. So now we have the white. Good. I don't know where my book titanium white went. Yeah, that's the big color here that everybody loves. And this set. So that's that one there. So I'm gonna take out the other. I wouldn't say more relaxed energy. I would say more happier. Is the word. Yeah, happier. It's different. So they're not really reds so much as they are. I think I'm just more. Let me get it green so I can get a nice green on that. This is Zap Green. And these are the Holbeins. I love Holbeins. Holbeins are so pretty. I know that Miss Michelle is doing a live stream right now. This is Horizon Bloom. I really like this blue. One of the prettier blues in the that's pretty, you know, depending on what kind of job I get. You know, I want a full-time job, but they might offer me instead of getting the job. They might give me part-time at first, you know. A lot of these companies, sometimes even if you have experience, they want to hire you part-time because it's easier for them. Is this part of the wing? This is part of the wing. I'm not sure if this is part of the wing or not. You know, it's very nice to just come be in the country for a little bit. It's quiet and it's nicer. I think that's part of the wing. I think I have to go back into the wing. That's okay. Like this one. Some blues don't really. Blue's kind of like a hard color for me. Yeah, this is from the link. So what are the pinks? I gotta go back and do the pink. Do that pink and then that's the wrong set. That's the Pablos. I'll tell you really, I like the Pablos a little bit more than I like the Luminance. But that's only because the Pablos have more colors. And I feel like when you work with the Luminance, there's like only so many colors. I have the 76 set. I don't have the new colors, so keep that in mind. Like there's certain sets I'll buy again, but then there's certain things I will not buy again when I run out. That's it. Like Black Widows, I'll probably buy again. Once I start working again, maybe things will slow down again. But my goal is, even if I'm working, to try and build a little bit of a nest egg. Mm-hmm. So let me put this in there. You can change the color by just a little bit of pressure. Wow, 8 lakes. That's a lot of lakes. See, when you set a picture, sometimes it doesn't always come out the way you expect it. Sometimes it comes out better. Sometimes it comes out worse. Well, I was always taught light to dark. Now dark to light. Mm-hmm. 8 lakes is a lot of lakes. Mm-hmm. This is cobalt blue in the Holbein. A lot of people, I don't see a lot of people use their Holbeins a whole lot. I like using them. I spend a lot of money on them. Right now, if I had to buy them, I could not. Also, so good pencil, but nobody ever talks about them, is the Colors are a very good budget-friendly pencil. I think we did a Kirby picture with them. And I am enjoying cooking with my mother. That's one thing we really enjoy doing together. we're enjoying cooking together, so I am enjoying that part of it. So that's really, really one of my favorite things that we're doing now that I like a lot. Manure de Banher. I think I have the Symphony of Cute Animals. I did have that at one point. My books got damaged. I don't know what happened, but I had to get rid of them because they got damaged and they were falling apart. So, but I do have the Symphony of Cute Animals one. I'm okay not having that because I really didn't color that very much. So I don't know because I haven't unpacked all my books what really came. I just finished unpacking the box that had all my color and heaven books in it. So keep that in mind when the Symphony of Cute Animals is a really nice one. I like that it's small, and you don't have to do as much work in that one. So I'm going to do yellow. This is Dandelion. My favorite yellows in this book. Which one do you want? The only thing that I don't like sometimes about the Japanese books is they cost so much money. And I have 3 Colin Heaven books that I'm waiting on to arrive. The Niscarara one, the fairy one, and the Cabbage Patch Kids. Yes, I didn't end up getting them. I got one of the last Niscarara ones, the latest one that I'm waiting on. The Cabbage Patch Kid one looks like fun. I love seeing all the different ones that they come out with from Colin Heaven. Sometimes there's issues, and I'm like, the new Stoke one is pretty, but it's not interesting. It has to genuinely be something I genuinely want. I'm now at the point, I'm like, I don't need this, I don't need that. No, I have to ask myself, what do I really need? Do I need certain things? Do I not need them? I'm at the point now where I'm like, can I live without them? And if the answer is yes, I can live without them, then I don't need it, It's not going to be about that anymore for me. I don't think it's a sickness so much as it is that we see pretty things from other people and we're like, oh, we must have that, we must have that. It's not so much a sickness as it is a desire because we're like, oh, we want that, we want that. You know, in my case, I didn't replace them because I was moving and I'm like, less would be better. And then, you know, you have less to deal with. Well, having less books in some ways is a better thing because then you don't have to be like, well, I don't have that book and I can live without it. So be it. Most of my markers, the only markers that I really kept, and I'll even say this truthfully, were my cold books. Because I'm like, you know what? No, I gave a lot of my cologne. I gave a lot of cologne books away before I moved. Remember, guys, I had all those giveaways. So that was a big thing for me to give away books, to give away things, you know. Then I think about, you know, no, I won't be buying as I don't think I'll be buying books for a while. Maybe not till next year once I get a job and then, you know, I settle in here and get a, you know, my mother gets her stuff settled and things, you know, it can take up to a year to feel comfortable in a new place. Now, this is just a really pretty book for me, just to color. And now I'm just streaming when I want to stream rather than, oh, I feel like I have to color, I have to stream. No, I don't want to feel that way anymore. You know, I want to, you know, and then, you know, my recent foray into the hospital, you know, everything that happened to me when I was, yes, all the things that had happened to me with my health, you know, you can't take health for granted, you know. So, you know, this is coming along. You know, we're doing this with pencils. Normally, I color with markers in these books because these books are great for like the way that markers work. Markers work really well. But this book can also be, these books can also be good for pencil work, things that you would normally do. So now do, so now we're gonna do some skin tone. See, like I like the yellow and orange. It just makes everything much brighter. Usually we use blues. So this is cherry blossom, and this is a holbein. Now a lot of people say, well, I can't do skin tone with this. I can't do skin tone with this. Um, you know, I gave away my irritants, my erogitins, and those pencils are really hard to use and they're expensive. Now they're really expensive to get. I think for me, you know, I went wild when this hobby first started and I put everything under the sun. But I think going forward, I'm going to be more selective. Ivory. True, but you know, I gave away so many books. It was, you know, when I went and did the first round with my coloring books, it was kind of easy for me to pick which books I wanted to give away. I go, what am I not really coloring? What hasn't been colored in? What can I, you know, the second round was, you know, I went through work when I moved. I had to go through the books a couple of times because it's like, what do I really color in? What can I give away to somebody who would really like them? This is one something. It's like a pinkish color. It's like an ivory color. Mm-hmm. The yellowish pink, more like a flesh tone. Now, when I first started coloring, all I would use was the light peach from the Prismas. When I learned you could do so much more when you came up to it. Flesh. You know who else has a good set? That everybody kind of was like, oh, I can't use my Black Widows. You know, the Black Widow skin tones are actually really good. Well, right now, what's happening is because I don't have my blotter pages, I'm using pencil, but I've done some marker work in this. But when I've used the markers, I've got to use blotter pages. You know, I use everything, markers, pencils, gel pens. To me, it doesn't matter what you use, as long as you feel comfortable using it, then you should be good. Then we use peach. This is peach, and this is what we'll use to blend it out. I have the Gulf Titanium or blender pencil. I haven't been able to find my blender pencil. I haven't been able to find my polycolors, my Rembrandt polycolors, but I'm not sure if I gave those away. Not sure if I gave those away or not. No, I gave away my pro colors because they were expensive and I wanted to give them. My mother does that. My mother wasn't even aware how many paintings I had when I was in my diamond painting, so my mother didn't know until she actually saw them being unpacked. And I have them in an ottoman. Then I have some loose ones. Like remember, I have a craftable one. I have a few. I think I have 2 or 3 Dreamer Designs. I have a few from Amazon. And I have a whole lot from DAC. Whatever I'm using at the time because it depends on my mood. Really, I love the Prismas. You know, a lot of people say they don't like the Prismas because they break. But I really, I would say my Prismas and my Holbeins are my favorite. Just because I can layer, I can use different shades. The reason why I like the Holbeins is because they have pastels. A lot of sets don't have pastels. Um, here's the thing about the Prismas. You can layer them, you can blend them. A lot of people don't understand that you're supposed to get that really a layering pencil. But you can do a lot with the Prisma. Same thing with Holbeins. But you know what I like about the Holbeins is that they take the best aspects of the Prismas and the best aspects of the polys with no negatives. The only negative with the I would say the only negative that I find with the Holbeins is the price point. I might have given away my I did. I feel bad, but I'm not going to feel bad because I might have given away my. Like this. I think this is like a periwinkle color. Oh, this is smalt blue. Oh yeah, that's like a periwinkle. I love that color. I'm going to use that for the bottom. And this is smalt blue. It's like a periwinkle color. Also, the thing that I like, a lot of times people don't spend the time learning their pencil sets. I tell people all the time, learn your pencil sets. Yeah, being a graphic artist is really nice. That's work you can do from home. They're really nice, but there's, if you ever want to buy the bigger sets, I recommend the bigger sets too, Angie, just because there's different colors that you don't have in other sets. I think it's worth it to buy the whole set of Holbeins if you're going to buy, but some people are like me. I got a small set of pastels and then I wanted more. And then I bought a bigger set at the time, and then, that money came in and I used part of my stimulus check to buy a big set of Holbeins. And I've been wanting them for so very long. The real set. That's why I have some duplicate colors of the Holbeins. So, one of the things I like to do is do people really well. This will probably be one of my few pencil ones in this book. Lamoine has a lot of books on her website, which is called Dream and Fantasy. Now, if you sign up to her newsletter, which I happen to be part of, she tells you when she's coming out with new books and new promotions and things like that. It does take a while to do that. I wish I had been like that then, instead of buying everything that caught my attention in the first year I was doing time and paint. I want this one, I want this one. And I just bought them without thinking, and I really shouldn't have done that. And then I had to buy the pens and buy the supplies and things like that. So Now I'm not going to be doing that as much. See how nice it comes out? And I even did some Camilla de Erico the other night. I started doing some stuff in that Cute and Creepy book. I think the problem is that some people do diamond painted so fast, and I'm like always amazed that they do them so fast. Then I think to myself, well, that's because they've got the workstation, they've got the time to do it. You know, like I like this tube. It's like a periwinkle. Don't have to do a lot of work for it. And then I see the blue. So yeah, I just like how the blue get complemented there. I'm thinking orange for this and yellow for that. That's good then. You know, we got the nice sunshine in there. You know, the gecko must be a really pretty one. I know when I was doing the one from the bulldog for my brother, it took me like almost 6 months to do it. It was also a very small one, but still. Oh, really? Wow. That's a big thing. And over here, I've heard that, you know, color combinations come later, but I've also been doing it a while, Angie, so it's not like it's like, you know, it didn't always come so naturally to me. No, no, I would say I'm a little bit like I like to experiment and go outside the box a little bit. And try things that other people are trying, but they don't always work for me. You know, what works for one person isn't going to work for another. You know, and you know, if I try to be a neat coach, which I'm not really a neat coach. This is called vermilion. Vermilion. You know, with the whole lines. So you get the orange in there. I'm very good at color combinations, some people say. My mother says she really likes my mandalas the best out of anything I do. You know, I'm not really a fan of mandalas. I'll do them on occasion. You know, this cheap little pencil sharpener does a really good job. I like that. When you can find a sharpener that does a really good job and you didn't pay a lot. I gotta find my M&R one. I had it a few days ago and now I can't find it. You know, not everybody has to follow the same path. I just love when things coming together. I think so, but sometimes, you know, people don't find, sometimes they don't find what they really like until they're a little bit yellow. This is canary yellow. I was originally going to put more yellow, orange in this, but I think it looks better with yellow. Yellow is just a brighter color. I'll think about it. I have to find the book. I have to find a Mandela book. You forget, Andrew, I'm still unpacking, so whatever I find. Well, that's the thing too. I have to find the books. It's not like magic, and you know when you're still unpacking, everything is like, what did you put in each box? I just happened to open up this box and find the colored heavens. You know, and then there's some books that are so expensive to get now that you can't even like. They're just kind of like, why are they so expensive? I'm almost done with this picture. I'm like really happy with the way this came out. I didn't think the colors were going to work, but they worked actually surprisingly well. You know, for people going looking back on this, I'm like, so we did this with Holbein's, Luminous, Holbein's, Luminous, and Pablo's. Sometimes when I'm doing skin tone and the marker comes out all blotchy, but that's because the ink is low on your marker. I'll go over it with pencils. Sometimes I do the opposite dance, so especially with the skin tone markers. I don't know what my mother's eating, but it must be something good because I hear her. And this is the vermilion. I'm not a fan of that. The idea of melted crayon. My nieces love coloring with crayons. See, this is the pencil one. Like there'll be some coloring books I will keep, and then there'll be some books I probably will not keep. I could think one or two of my color and heavy ones I'll keep. And then I think the rest I will not keep because, there's only so much room you can have. And so since I'm now in a smaller place than I was in New York, but there is a lot of storage space, but you also have to be aware of what you're getting and when you're getting it. At some point I'll start diamond painting again. But I think that's once everything settles in. And we are done with that. But I want to show you guys some of the stuff that I was working in Pop Mango with. This is the Cute and Creepy book. So I did this one, finished this one last night. And then I moved on to the other one. This is one that I did with pencils. I'm doing this book all in pencils. So that one came out kind of cute. I like that one. And then I did this one, little blue one, and I did that. And then I'm kind of almost done with this one, but I'm thinking of doing a background for it, but I'm not really sure what kind of background I want to do with it. Because I know I want to do a background, but I'm not sure what kind of background I want to do with it. So this is the only one not colored in, and then I'm going to do a background, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the background in that one. Yeah, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'll put marker down in the face or this if I'm doing skin tone. This is the one that I finished last night. Creepy and cute. I love this. This book I kept. I don't think I kept my other two Camilla Erico books because they were falling apart. And there's some things I kept, and when I did this because it reminded me of Sam, Color and Chat with Sammy and a little hedgehog. I don't know why, but when I saw that, it reminded me so much of Sammy. So some things pop out with color, when I do skin tone with markers, sometimes my markers dry out with the skin, so then I put like something like a Prisma or polychromos. Prismas and polychromos actually really work really well with markers. The Black Widows don't work as well with markers, believe it or not. I've not been able to get them to work well with markers. But the Prismas and polys do. The higher end pencils work very well with markers. I will tell you that. So that's what works very well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream because I have as well. And everybody have a wonderful day. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you tomorrow. Depends on how busy I am tomorrow. We might go exploring. Me and my mother might try shopping again. So I hope you all have a great time. Bye, everybody.